Welcome back. Hi, Carmen. How rude, Facebook. Very rude and disrespectful. Welcome back, though. Hi, Carmen Wood. Stephanie Hampton. You guys do me a favor and hit the like button. Like the heart, the smiley face, the laughy face. Hi, Valerie Amos. Hola, mamita chiquita. Hi, Kathy Brown. I'll get back in here. I want to tell y'all something in continuation of that conversation we were having about how people just be running with shit. Alexia, thank you for being a member. Hi, Rain Douglas. Hi, Sharon Williams. I see you sneaking in here. Kathy Brown, Quanda Wright, good morning to you. Patrina Murkison, hello. Danita Glover, hi, good morning to you. Facebook, it has a time limit, it's 4 hours. And we just be talking about different shit on here. Different things. And time just flies. Let's see. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Good morning. Welcome back. Were you in here before? Probably not. We talked about so much stuff. We covered so much, but we were wrapping it up. I think I shared with hi, Larissa. Good morning, Nandy, and everyone checking in from Chicago. Angela Daniels, good morning again. Marvette Washington, hello. Sylvia Holmes, hi, darling. See you watching from YouTube, which I appreciate since we will be moving over to that platform. My voice sounds like I have like talking twice, like it's reverberating something. Constance Woodson Williams, hello. Kathy Tanja Darcet, hello. We've been on for hours. If you weren't here when it just cut off, I just brought it back, restarted another live because I don't like to end without saying goodbye to you all and doing a proper wrap up. So, Facebook was being rude. That's one thing I like about YouTube over Facebook. We could be on fucking YouTube for 6 hours, 7 hours. I mean, I don't think we've ever gone that long, but a person could, and they would their broadcast wouldn't be interrupted. Like Facebook has all these hard and fast rules. They make it super impossible for you to make money because you got to adhere to all these different things. You got to meet all these requirements. It's a lot. You have to jump through a ton of hoops on Facebook to get monetized. Beverly Nelson, hi. Sonia Mills, good morning to you. Sonia, you're a super supporter, aren't you? Why isn't your badge showing? I've noticed a lot of people's badges aren't showing. Some are, but some aren't. Hello again, Miss Epps. Good morning. Tanya Wilson. Hey, I'll be out today. Trivia. And probably for like an hour, maybe 2 hours or so. People love it. You guys will enjoy it. We'll get to meet people from all around the world who come to, Georgia and other places here in the nation, especially around New Year's to be with their loved ones, doing all kinds of things. So I will be posted up for about a good hour. I will be going live doing that, asking people different things. Hey, where are you? Like we do on trivia night, where are you from? What do you do for a living? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? That kind of stuff. It's always really interesting to know what's going on in the mind of a person, right? Kind of like with DJ Twitch. He looked perfectly fine, but you never know what's going on in a person's mind. So just kind of picking people's brains for different things today in a very lighthearted and fun way. So I can't wait for all the content. Awesome. Thank you for being a member, Tanya. I'm about to get some breakfast. I'm starving. I know I'm hungry as hell too, but I want to get some sleep. I'll catch the replay on the other live on here in YouTube. Awesome. Be careful. I will definitely thank you for that, Myra. I will be in a well-populated area doing this today. And I am only streaming it on YouTube to members, probably. I'm about to get some Phyllis Salazar. You know this lady named Laura Salazar. You know somebody named Laura Salazar? It's a ridiculous question, right? That's like asking me, Serena Williams. People do ask me crazy questions like that. Like when I'm traveling, see you tonight. All right, Myra, see you tonight. And they find out like my last name is Williams. They're like, do you know Serena Williams? Do you know Whitney Houston? Like people are hilarious. Nita Williams, good morning. We're about to say goodnight because we've been at this for like 4 hours. Ann Miles, hi. Virginia Murphy, Yolanda Green, Elethea Smith. I love that name. Beverly Nelson, and all of you hiding in the bushes. I know you're there. I know you're watching. I know you punching the air right now. Listen, I don't hate anybody, at all. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate on anyone. My whole intent and purpose for coming on, starting a page was to put the spotlight on Carmen because like shit hit the fan about her. Well, it was when Tay came into the picture for a lot of us, right? Tay came in, and we saw right through it from Jump Street for the moment she opened her mouth, before she opened her mouth, because missed the Costco runs. What's today? Costco may be open today, but I think they're open like half a day or something like that. They're really good to their employees. Can you see me? I've been speaking. I can see you, darling. Hey, Nita Williams. You said good morning. I said good morning, right? I can see you though, but good morning. What you call it? Was I saying? That sandwich. What sandwich? Right. Tay was it was Tay. Tay, yeah, the sandwich. She I'm not saying Tay's a beauty queen because she's not. I mean, listen, I've seen her with and without makeup, night and day. I'm not saying she's butt ass ugly either, you know. But Carmen is butt ass ugly. Carmen, you should have never been trying to take them weak ass shots you were taking, which I find hilarious, and so do the teammates, you know. But now that you opened that door, you want to call names and poke jabs at people who might be a little fluffy and shit. You trying to be funny and disrespect me, which I find it hilarious, and I'm going to talk about it. But the reality is, a lot of your followers, you disrespecting them in the process too. So, well, not too, because I don't feel any kind of way about it. It's hilarious. But I'm glad you did it because now that opens the door for me to really say, and other people on this page to say how we really feel about you. You can't be talking about people are bullying and crying and you crying wolf, but you also being the wolf. Like Carmen's butt ass ugly. And Tay, I mean, she's okay. Carmen couldn't believe her luck because see, to older black people, like 60 and older, like Carmen, we talked about this. They come from a certain southern ignorant. I shouldn't say that. Can we talk? Let me take this down because y'all need to see me because I'm about to get real for a minute. Hold on. I don't want y'all to be on this page acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. And I can't believe she just said that. You know damn well that in our community, white people cover your ears. Go get a sandwich or something. Come back. Talking to the black folks right now. You know damn well back in the day that like we were so Slavery did a number on Black people for real. We some strong ass people and very resilient. We've bounced back where, we are doing incredibly well compared to what we were, for hundreds of years, being property of someone. But you don't come out of a 400-year bondage, 400 years of bondage, right? And be perfectly healthy and fine and sane and not have any side effects or, lingering brainwashing, brainwashed thoughts and ideologies and stuff like that. You don't suffer 400 years and many generations and then just be fine once it's over. That's not how it works. We talk, we know that Black people, especially Black people in the South, are definitely partial to their lighter skinned children. Okay. You were light skinned and you were a child, baby, you was mama's baby. You was mama's pride and joy. But if you was dark skinned, back in Carmen days, now, dark skin is in. But back in Carmen days and older, you know what I'm saying? Like they had that ignorant slave mentality of light skin is better. Like people, I could tell you some stories about shit that my grandmother have told me about people in the South and, just, being partial to their lighter skinned children and treating the darker skinned children with contempt, disrespect, sometimes death, or disownment. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible thing. So I say all that to say Carmen's basically from that school of thought, somewhere in that area. And so when Tay came in, light skinned, and you know what I'm saying? She didn't know her hair was long. She had on long braids. Carmen really thought she caught a prize. That's that slave. That's that mentality. Because she said it. She said Tay is light skinned and she got long hair. It's not that long. We've seen it. She got good hair, some shit. She said light skin and good hair, and that's one of the reasons I love her. Like that stupid ass old slave mentality talk, and that's what got Carmen fucked up where she is right now today, because you picked her based upon that brainwashing shit that they taught on the plantation. If you were light skin on the plantation, you didn't have to work in the field. You was the master's child by force of rape, of course. They came in our cabin all times of night. This happened millions of times throughout slavery across the globe. Came into our cabin, got right on top of us. Cabins, you don't have rooms. Kids weren't in that room, and your room was over here. So the master came, and he was private and discreet about it. Hell no, you was his property, and everybody was slept on the same floor in an open space. You ever been to a slave cabin? I have. I'm sure you have too. Bust that door open, got right on top of your husband laying here, your kids laying here. He didn't give a fuck. And he released himself. He shot the club up. Okay. And 9 months later, guess what happened? A light-skinned ass baby came out. Okay. And then when she got to be 13 or 14, he slept with her too. Yeah, that same master, her daddy. He slept with her too. And if he didn't do it, someone else. Like around that age, they start to move families around on plantations, right? Like January 1st, we talked about that. That's when that was the most movement of purchase of enslaved people and trading and sending off or buying and selling of, breaking up families. That's when it happened most. The first January 1st, right? Tomorrow was the day we all dreaded on plantations because we didn't know who was going where and who was being split up. Who's being my baby ripped out of my arms. She sent over to, Louisiana, and I'm, in Georgia. And it happened every first of the year. That's when the big slave trade happened. So anyway, 12 or 13 years old is a good age to sell someone, right? She's in childbearing years, just brand new in childbearing years. So she'll give you more kids to be your slaves down the line and, all that kind of stuff. And when that same child, who the so-called master, raped one of us, 9 months later, half half white baby came out, light skinned, Meghan Markle looking, when that child turned 12 or 13, if she wasn't raped by the current master, he sold her off on another plantation to go somewhere else. She was raped too. And she had a baby. Now guess how that baby looked? White. Okay, because now it's 2/3 white and a quarter black, right? So it's 75% white and 25% black. Now you got a straight up white looking person walking around on the plantation. And when they get raped, guess what happens? Now you got 100, like that baby's lily white. That person's lily white. But guess what? They still was considered a nigga. If they ran away from the plantation, then they got, like, the slave catchers caught them and, brought them back. They were still a nigga. They definitely started, in the white man's eyes, they were still a nigga. But you could run away at that complexion and your hair being lily white, and no one would ever even know that you were black, that your mother was straight up black and was a slave, and they kept that under wraps, and it's just a lot. Anyway, I ain't about to get deep into this early in the morning. Let me see what y'all talking about on here. I was just talking about Tay and Carmen and the color of her skin and the mentality around that. That's how I got down that rabbit hole, because it's a terrible thing. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me go back up. Belinda, Happy New Year to you. Bye, baby. Remember when Coach used to just post stills of tea? No interaction? Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah, she's one ugly woman. Happy New Year. Hey, y'all. Let's talk, sis. On the Worthies tonight, they had Chef Val. I know we talked about it. She's making a grinder sandwich. I was dying laughing at that shit because Kim said not them hearty grinder sandwiches. Slavery for sure. You have a nail appointment at 10. Me? No, I don't have a nail appointment at 10. Absolutely not. Tanya said, yes, if you would line it in a paper bag. Now, the paper bag thing started back in like the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, as late as the 80s, that when you went to clubs or restaurants, they had a paper bag at the podium, okay? And if you were darker than that paper bag, you couldn't get in. That's the paper bag check. 100% true. You're right about the skin color. I'm trying to tell you, this information is facts about skin tone. Straight facts. I'm from Louisiana. Yes, it's true. Light skin educated. Yep. What wasn't Stephanie light skin tone? I think so. Yeah. Yes. Jim Crow shit. Yeah. After we became free from the bondage of slavery, free to go where? Go across town to Aunt Bertha house and stay with her till we get on our feet. Black people were slaves, enslaved all over the nation, all over the country. And so when we got our emancipation, we stayed on the plantation. Some people stay on. If you are a member, I'm going to send you something later today. I'm going to post it to my members, the paid subscribers group. I'm going to send you something today. Some people did not know. I sent you guys something yesterday about the house that the Black people found or that they purchased, and they didn't know that their enslaved family members were slaves on that plantation. They had no idea. They uncovered that after they bought the house. I sent that to you guys. I love history and stuff like that. But we stayed. We became sharecroppers. For whatever that means. They gave us 5 cents a year. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that, when you were a sharecropper, you were given part of the land for for your production of your fruit and vegetables and things that you wanted to sell and market and all that stuff. And then you worked the land also like you did as you were a slave, business as usual. All right. And you had to pay the master some of your money from your profits and et cetera, et cetera. And it worked for some people, but it was another form of slavery. You know what I'm saying? You telling me that, in order for you to be a sharecropper, I'll allow you to sell your fruits and vegetables, but you got to give me $5,000. You know what I'm saying? We could never pay that off, and they knew it. That's why they set the prices like that. So we still died as slaves. We were slaves up until There were black people on plantation homes. I'm not saying picking cotton because now they have machines for that. But I promise you, as late as the 60s, did not know that slavery was abolished in this country. Did y'all know that? Yeah, it's true. Anyway, my mom grew up in Chicago suburbs. She was light skinned. There was a girl who was lighter than her, good hair, and these girls were jealous of her. They jumped her and cut her face up with switchblades. Yes, I mean that happens. Yes, at the Atlanta Museum. Stephanie and Lady in Green Kitchen picked Tay for her color. Tay picked Crook for her money because looks ain't it. Miss Betty said every woman Cook has dated has been light skinned. I remember Crook saying that. So ignorant. That's why she's getting used. Yep. Good morning, Risa. Please teach this. This needs to be talked about. People don't be ready to hear the truth. They don't. They ain't ready for it. The mentality is so ignorant. It's what kept us so separated as a people, right? And man, black people been through a lot, y'all. Because again, once slavery was over, you free to go where? Do what? With what? You know? But those of us who set out, like Isaiah Washington, do y'all know who he is? He built a town called Mound Bayou in Mississippi. And he was a slave and he was freed. And he got some land from his like his master died and left him some land or whatever. But the land was swamp land. I think I told y'all this. It was all swamps and woods, picture wood, like back in in the 1800s. Well, we were technically free as of 1865. The Civil War was 1861 to 1865. But like picture 1890. You know what I'm saying? 1870. All woods, marsh, quicksand, mud, everything. We were given that, if you want to call it a gift, and we cleared the shit out that land. We built schools. They're still there today. Schools, hospitals, all run by black people. Former slaves became educated. Booker T. Washington, he was alive at that time, and he was writing about it and talking about it. Flourishing town. Of course, we knew how to do everything. We had our own tailor shops, meat shops. It was like Tulsa, all right? It was like Black Wall Street in Tulsa, right? And before Tulsa was Tulsa. These were direct slaves on freed land, clearing it, and building its metropolis. This is the first Black Wall Street, really. And you know what they did? Same thing they did in Tulsa. Came in, rode in on them horses, harassed the shit out of us whenever they felt like it. It was terrible. Y'all need to look it up. It's called Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Anyway, let's see. Crook thinks she has a trophy, but it's quite the opposite. Crook is so uneducated, and you can hear it when she talks and how she acts. 1,000% agree. Calling somebody dumb, bitch. Like you, not only is she uneducated, you don't have to be book smart to be an intelligent person. Can we all agree with that? I mean, you don't have to go to a school and get formal education to be considered intelligent. You don't. A lot of our forefathers, they didn't go to school, right? They didn't. If they couldn't or they didn't, or for whatever reason, they had to work the field and work the crops. And they were very smart, intelligent people, because life will teach you everything you know about how to survive on this planet. Okay, you can't get that shit from a book. You can get that from life experience. And she's everything about Carmen is just, that's why she's in this situation right now. She doesn't make good decisions in life. Like, how are you 60 and having to start all over because of what you ignored all the signs that people were telling you about? It's nothing. I'm not talking about people who are 60 and starting over. Not you. I'm specifically talking about Carmen. God made us in his image. We are all beautiful. Okay. Cook needs cooking. Cook needs cooking, planting, and presentation lessons. Plating. You heard them. They petty over there. I like the wordy stuff. They tell my son, it's a popular thing to go to culinary school. I heard now or something, because cook, yeah, I know. And then when Chef Val made that grinder, that was a real grinder sandwich. How she said, "Let me clean the plate up." The crook don't know shit about cleaning up no plate. She throw that slop on that shit and put it on camera. Tell myself, "Man, I got y'all. I promise." Shit be looking like a Deltas were notorious for paper bag checks. Wow. Took does absolutely nothing for Carmen. But you're a wife though. No cooking, affection, etc. Nothing. I agree with that. Could you send to the new members? Yes. Let me write it down because I'll forget. It's gonna be fascinating. Um I'll post it for you guys. Um Thank you for reminding me of that, Alexia. Um, Take actually does the imitation of life with her mother. Her mother is very humble and simple. Takes pretending to be more than she is, 100%. But they complement each other in that way because Carmen is the exact same way. She's always talking when somebody asks her for her name. I'm Chef Carmen from ATL. Bitch, you're not a chef. Stop. And they didn't ask you what you do. They want to know who you are as a human being. They just want to know your name. That happened with Rico's new neighbor. Neighbor's like, "What's your name?" I'm a chef. I'm Chef Carmen. I'm a chef out of Atlanta. She was like, "No, what's your name?" "But what is your name?" "Oh, Chef Carmen. What's your name?" "Oh, Carmen." It's ridiculous. Wanting to be more than what she is. It's just ridiculous. Hi Muhammad. Um, Let me take care of this. Blocked and deleted. Let's see. Coach, you're like me, a young lady with an old soul. I'm definitely an old soul. Thank you. Free to go where? Wow, so sad. Free to go where? You free. Y'all free. Slavery's over. Free to go where? Go where? Do what? He stayed. Some families stayed and they were indebted to, they couldn't pay the debt for being on the plantation. Right now you got to pay rent because you stand on the plantation. You know that shit was through the roof. I'm gonna pay you to work the crops. I'm gonna pay you 5 cents a month, but you have to give me the money that you get from selling your crops. You have to give me a part of that, and you got to pay rent. It was slavery all over again, but legal. And sometimes I'm not gonna even get into it. It's deep. We ain't gonna do that today. Let's see. Nita Williams, why is that funny? Why is what funny? Let me see what she said. We got a troll. Who's a troll? Muhammad? I know. I took care of him already though. That's why I teach my daughter her chocolate brown skin is beautiful. Own it and don't let anyone tell you any different. She's so beautiful. This would be a good to highlight for Black History Month, even though we should talk about it every day. Yeah. This is something that they don't teach in schools. One of my neighbors, most of my neighbors are Caucasian. And I will tell you, I never miss an opportunity to talk to them about the oppression of Black people, right? Over the years and through today. One of my neighbors I was talking to, nice older gentleman. He's married, white. They're white. And I was walking through my subdivision one day, and they were sitting on their porch, and I stopped to talk to them. It's a neighborly thing to do. And I talk to them like whenever I'm walking down that way in the subdivision, right? And so we're talking. One thing about white people, y'all cover your ears. I love y'all, all right? I listen. I love all kinds of people. I'm a lover of people, period. But I also know that we come from different struggles, different walks in life, right? So I never miss an opportunity to enlighten a white person about some shit that they be acting like they don't know or they don't know. I was talking to one of my white friends, and they never miss an opportunity. If they're older and they're white, they will let you know if they ever had a black friend before. Oh, they will let you know. So we're talking. Sure enough, he brought it up. Yeah, Nandy. One of my good buddies growing up, he was a black fella. He was actually, what he said was he was a colored fella. What he said, he was colored. I let him finish his sentence. I didn't interrupt him. He was a colored fella, and he and his family, me and my family, we were poor, but we would eat at his house and eat at his table. They took care of us all the time, all the coloreds in our neighborhood. So I let him finish. So I said, okay, that's nice. I said, I'm not surprised. Black people are very, very, very good-hearted people. We're very forgiving. We embrace people, right? That's just in our nature and our DNA, right? So I said, I'm not surprised to hear that. I would be surprised if that didn't happen. He said, give us food and ham and fat back and all that stuff. I said, and also, it's been quite some time since we've been classified as colored, right? We're African, of African heritage, right? And of American culture, right? Nationality and culture. Our culturally, we have American cultures, and of course, our nationality is American as well, but our heritage is African. Anyway, so I said, we don't go by colored. I said, I don't know how many black friends you have now that you call colored to their face, but we're African American or just American if you want to say that. Oh, I didn't mean any harm. I said, I know. This was a teachable moment. So we got to talking about slavery because now if you didn't know that, now I got to tell you some other things. And do you know this man? He's like 70 something years old, very smart. You know what I'm saying? Do you know this man had the audacity? I didn't say audacity because maybe he didn't know. I don't know how the hell he didn't know. But what he said to me was, Nandy, I know about slavery and it was a horrible thing. He said, I know. This is what he said. He said, I know that, black people who were on the plantation of slaves. Now, my ears perked up because, baby, you talking my lingo now. Black people who were on the slaves as plantations, they were, they had relationships with the masters sometimes. And, that's how some of the light-skinned people came to be. I said, what? They had relationships? What? What do you mean? So now he knows he done stepped into something. He's looking at me. I said, you're talking about rape? You're talking about how we were raped many times over, millions of times across, the institution of slavery. We were raped and forced to have those babies, and they became the property too. He looked at me. He was shocked, and I truly believe he really didn't know. He was like, raped? I said, yeah, many times, millions of times across 400 years. That's how we got all these light-skinned black people running around here, mostly. And he was like, you sure? Am I sure? I'm sure that I'm sure. Okay. I didn't know it was rape. I thought that it was consensual relationship. Shit like that makes me mad. It makes me mad for a number of reasons. Because one, if he truly didn't know, and I truly believe he really maybe didn't know, you should know about some shit like that. I feel like, because a lot of times white people don't know the true history and the brutality that slavery and the toll that it took on black people that still affects us to this day. I feel that that's why they don't understand how we move while we move, how we are while we are. You don't understand because you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, because you don't know, because either you don't know, you pretend that you don't know. Because when I told my grandmother, she was like, he's a lying ass. She said he absolutely knew what you were talking about. But if they don't know, That's why there's such a huge gap between, black people and white people, because white people just, like, they say they don't know a lot of the struggles that we experienced as slaves. You know what I'm saying? So, but you have to understand a person's struggle and plight in life in order to appreciate their mindset, to respect it and all that stuff. So, let me see what y'all are talking about on here. Kim called it the cold cut trio. Y'all, I was dying laughing when she called it that. My dad uses the color word. Are you white? Your dad's white or black? Because even even older black people who grew up in the South, my New York accent's coming out. In the South, not South. Older black people who grew up in the South, they grew up doing Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? They grew up doing, well, they didn't grow up, they're not still here. They grew up during the Black Code. So after slavery was over, white people came out with this rule, like, okay, slavery is over. We got to find some way to get these niggas back into slavery. If it wasn't sharecropping, they came up with this thing called Black Codes, right? These were all these rules that black people, newly freed black people, couldn't do. Basically, everything on it was like breathe air, just all kind of shit, right? It's called Black Codes. So they would arrest us all the time. We walking down the road looking for somewhere to settle down because we newly free. They would arrest the whole fucking family just for breathing, put them in jail. And what white people used to do, listen, you got this big ass plant, you got these big plantations and plantation homes that needs manpower and need people to run them. Now that these people are free and they know they're free and they leave the plantation, who the fuck's going to run the plantation? So what they did was they will put us in jail, and like they had, people riding around on horses, the former slave catchers. Now these are the same people, that's how the police force started. Believe it or not, they started as slave catchers, slave capturers. That's how it started. And then it developed and developed. That's why, anyway, I'm not about to go down that road. They would put us in jail, and plantation owners would go to the jails and pay our bail, get us out of jail, right? They were all in bed together, meaning it was all the system, All right, let's get these niggas, these newly freed niggas, put them in jail. For what? For breathing. Whole families in jails. White people come in there, just like on the slave auction block. It was the same type of shit. They would go into the jail, look, see who they wanted. Give me that one. I'll pay for that one. They paid a couple of dollars to the jail. The jail made money. And now you done paid for my freedom. Now I have to work off the bail. He paid $2 to get me out, but you got to pay. The master want $1,000. That's unheard of. There's no way you can make a fucking $1,000 back in that time as a black slave. The master want $1,000 for you to buy your freedom. You got to get back on that plantation and work up $1,000 worth of work, which would never happen. So we died still as slaves. This happened. This is history. All right. We died still enslaved. Any kids we had were also property. So we were slaves for many years after 1865. Okay. Let's see. They don't want to know either. That's why they don't want it taught in schools. They say it causes divisiveness. That's exactly right. They don't want it taught in school. Not all white people, because my white friends, I got some. Listen, baby, my white friends are with the shits. They know about. Okay, they gotta know. They're my friend. Like, yeah, they know what's up. They know that this world is this nation is very one-sided. It's a lot that we've been through. Who creates a whole page to down another person? Who gets on that page and then ask a dumb question? So let me block you. Let me see. God for something. Every white person who has mistreated blacks. Listen, they know. I know. Real identity is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about white people. Not all white people are bad, by a long shot. Now, you got some racist ass white people, and they inherit it from their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? It passes down, they pass it down to their kids. But a lot of white people are not racist. They are good ass people. In fact, so much so that when we were enslaved and we, that whole Underground Railroad, they helped us. That we couldn't have did it without them. That's the cold hard fucking truth. We had allies in the white community. They hid us in their homes as we ran from one home to the next home in the middle of the night in pitch black dark. They put a candle in the window to let us know that was a safe house. We'd run there. They put us under the house where they stored like their goods and stuff and hid us and fed us and kept us safe. And then the next night, when night fell, we ran to the next house until we got to Canada or we got, up north. So we couldn't have did it without their help. You know what I'm saying? So not all white people are evil. I want to say that too, because I know a lot of white people subscribe to this page. So let's see. Why do you cuss so much? Because I can and I want to. Because I don't have to. Because I have a mastery command of the English language. So I don't have to cuss. I cuss because I want to cuss. Is that good enough for you? Try to do better. I'm not even going to block you. Because you did try to end it with something kind of nice. I cuss because I want to cuss. This is how I talk. Slaves were hidden in their cellars. Yes, exactly. No disrespect, but my parents would talk about how the slave women would be raped and the husband had to take it, and white people still not think they should be in jail. Yep, that's true. I'm from Mississippi. Tammy, are you white? You look white. Okay, let's hear from one of our white sisters now. I'm from Mississippi. I am 61 years old. I have been in many farms where Black people could not eat with the owners. I have always stood for equality and would leave. I know one person that still has people that work for her and thinks because she sends his children to college, it makes it okay. It's not okay with me. Thank you for that. We appreciate that testimony, and we appreciate your, you being an advocate, an ally is the word I'm looking for. I'm sleepy. You being an ally for our community. We appreciate that. They know who real identity is. They know who are the people. He must be old. He was my neighbor. I don't know. I mean, he's like 70 something. What's happening? Nita, what's happening to Crook's hair? It's falling out terribly. I don't know. No one outside of her 300,000 members on Facebook followers knows her. That's over 300 million people in this country alone. She's somewhat delusional. I know, because people be asking me, because people know, like, I've been MIA. Normally I work and I'm available to like my friends, family, I've been working and doing this with you guys. And so people was like, where the hell you been? Like, oh my God. And then when I tell them like I'm running this page and I know someone, they're like, no, I never heard of her. Like, she's really fucked. She really thinks she's the big deal. God has always been around. That is true. Your life was planned when you were born. God knows all. That's true. Intelligent and educated are not the same. That's true. That's true. It's true. We prayed and are still praying. Good morning, all. Hi, Mr. Loris. Good morning. They're trying to go back to Jim Crow. Well, what I will say about the white people who are racist in this country is they scared as hell. Their grip of control is not as tight as it once was, okay? And they know that people like Tammy, white people, people outside of our race are demanding equality for our race and really putting a fine, point on some of the things that happen that are one-sided and unjust and all that stuff. So they can't do what they used to do. Listen, baby, you could be killed for any reason or no reason at all when we were enslaved, and even after slavery, many years after that. Look what happened to Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? That was recent. Okay. And even today, you know, what about the young man? Y'all help me with his name, that was running down there in near Macon in Brunswick. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And they got out trucks. They went to get the trucks and the guns, and they chased him. Ahmaud Arbery is his name. It comes back to my mind. That was a lynching. That was a fucking lynching. And they really everybody knew about it, and there was no arrest at all. Everybody covered it up, helped them cover it up. That's that old school mentality, you know. A lot of not all whites, because again, we have some great allies in the white community. Great. I love people, yo. If y'all saw my friends, I mean, even people who have play adopted me as my play parents or grandparents, older white people, right? I love all kinds of fucking people, because at the end of the day, well, obviously, of course, I'm a huge advocate for my community, for the Black community. But at the end of the day, when you strip everything down, money, prestige, power, ego, when you strip all that down, we all have the same fundamental needs: love, respect, food, water, air. We breathe the same air, for God's sakes. And so there's more we have in common than not. Let's see. We were kids playing in our yard, saw two white police shoot this Black man in the head, and left laughing. Of course, nothing happened to them. Wow. Where was this, Sandra? In the South? Where was this? I'm curious now. Black people built this country. You better know it. Absolutely. This country will be, you know how Donald Trump was talking about these shithole countries, talking about Haiti and all these other places. This will be a shithole country. This was 13 colonies, okay? 13 colonies. And now look at it. It's a mighty nation. The reason that America is one of the superpowers in the world, right, is because it benefited from 400 years of free slave labor. Oh, yes. Free slave labor, product and production, all that free. And so that's how we became this superpower that we are. And this country will be nothing if it didn't have the backs of slaves that it was built on. Absolutely. It will still be it will be a shithole country, like Trump said about the other countries. Yes, he was looking at houses. They all went down, even the one that recorded it. Yes. Listen, have you all been out? I've done this many times. I own 2 properties here in Georgia. I've been out plenty of times, like riding around looking at houses, you know, or in a subdivision where a friend of mine lived and there were houses. I've gone in, not abandoned, but houses that are being built, subdivisions that are new and they have the frame up. I've been in plenty. I love looking at houses, you know. I've been in plenty of homes. If they're having an open house, or if it's under construction, like what happened with Ahmaud Arbery. He was running, he stopped, he went, looked around. The owner of that house, the house wasn't finished. It was still being built, but it was already purchased. The owner of that house went on record, it was all over the news, and said that there were cameras up in this house, which was just the framework of it, because there was still stuff there like materials and, you know, that kind of stuff. He said he saw Ahmaud Arbery. He testified to this. He saw him into the house, you know, after his run a couple of times, but he looked around and never took one thing. He never touched one thing, which is why the actual owner of that house, who didn't live obviously in a house because it was still being built, he lived in another state. He was buying a house here in Georgia. He never called the police ever, because he didn't take anything. So when they saw him out running, not the owner, but you know, the men who are now in the clink forever, the father and the son and the neighbor shot that man dead, down dead in the street. And the prosecutor, she knew about it. The district attorney, the DA knew about it. They all knew about it. Everybody knew about it. They covered it up. The only reason the shit came out is because The video got leaked from the neighbor who recorded it all. Yep. They was never going to talk about that shit ever. What happened, how it happened. You know what I'm saying? They left him dead right there in the street. Good morning. I kept getting kicked off of Facebook on YouTube now. Well, Facebook we were at our limit. We've been talking for a long time. Yes, I love to get ideas from other houses. That's very normal. A very, very normal thing to say. They are trying to turn the clock back. Yep. Through legislation such as voting rights via Congress and state assemblies. Absolutely. Where's our restitution? We need some. Definitely. Give me my 40 acres. You know what? I think the government owes Black people in this country at minimum. Every African American in this country who was impacted by the transatlantic slave trade, we, at minimum, there should be no question about it. I'm sure Biden would approve what I'm about to say. He'd be on board with it immediately. We need, at minimum, free African ancestry DNA tests done. At minimum. We were whitewashed, brainwashed, and everything else the moment we stepped foot off that boat ship onto wasn't America, but it was onto it was America. It wasn't the United States, but onto American soil, right? Before we were even auctioned off, they cut off our braids, our hair, our locks, hosed us down from that 2-month voyage on the ocean. We had to stand up, bleed on ourselves, and the person below. It was horrible. It's horrible. And we have been whitewashed. They took away, we couldn't talk our language on the plantation. That's why I love the Geechee people. A lot of the African language is intertwined with their English, right? They really, really are like the truest, the closest Blacks in this country, closest to African, our African ancestors and our history and our customs and cultures and all that stuff. The Geechee people. So out in the Carolinas and Savannah. So anyway, couldn't speak our language. We couldn't beat the drums. We couldn't do anything that made us feel proud. You know what I'm saying? Because if you feel proud, that's dangerous. You have an uprising. Okay. Anything and everything they took from us. We had to learn the white man's language. And y'all ain't gonna like this, what I'm about to say. Some of y'all holy rollers in here. You know what? I ain't even gonna say it. Let me see what y'all saying. Everything that the slaves built, the slave owner would take and get the credit for. Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. Amen. Built on their backs. Because some people so ignorant. Yep. Mississippi. But one thing about it, it seems that white people have the balls of steel these days. Just nasty as fuck. Nothing new though. There's some nasty ass white people out there now. Some nasty ass Black people out there too. But one thing about Black people, we are so, if you listen, you ever see a white person living in the Black hood or just arriving to a Black hood, or you know what I'm saying? Black people want to take care of you. We don't give a fuck what color you are. We are such nurturers. We are so forgiving. We're so giving, Now you take a Black person in certain parts of, white towns, they're going to get hung and lynched to this day. Here in Georgia, the KKK is still very much alive. Very much alive. There was a restaurant. There was a restaurant that was harassed by the KKK about 3 years ago. They were on their white horses with their hoods on, right, making a circle in the parking lot, right, on their white horses, right here in Georgia. Oh yeah, they're still active. They still got bars that are KKK only. You walk up, you see the little man with its hood on the window, that little sticker. It's a cake. It's a fully functioning, and they got the horses in the back that they ride on still. After passing, their family now became so rich and gained more. That is generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? That's why white people have the upper hand on us, in this country, because they had a running start. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the worries that we had to worry about. So they could focus on education. They could go to school. They didn't have to till the land. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? They had homes that was passed down to them that were built, and the wealth they had was directly from the work of the slaves. They have lands and homes, you know, um, heirlooms and jewels and all this kind of stuff. And black people, a lot of times when we die, what we pass on a lot of time, debt. You know what I'm saying? That's why Boss Lady, the way she raises her kids and how she speaks life to them and encourages them. She's always she uses positive, what's called positive reinforcement. She's so positive. And that's how you're supposed to talk to your kids. And and the work that she's doing, yeah, she's enjoying the fruit of her labor now, but her and many other black people who work to build an empire and a legacy, they're doing it for their kids, so that they can have that advantage, like how white people have that advantage in life. At least we'll be on even footing. You know what I'm saying? We are all related to each other. If your great 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 grandfather was traded to another plantation and his name was Brown, they were sent to another plantation. Our name was changed to Jones. You left the baby back at the Brown plantation. He now has a baby in the Jones plantation that makes the children's sister brother. Yes, I talked about this earlier today. You're absolutely right. I literally just talked about this. The breakup of families, selling off of enslaved black people. It's a big, big problem. You don't know who your brother or sister is because we got traded. But you know what, y'all? When I moved to Georgia, I really didn't know what to expect. I expected a few things. I know it's the South. You hear a lot about the South, especially here in Georgia. Georgia was a red state. I mean, we flipped that shit blue this last election, but Georgia was a red state, and moving to a red, meaning Republican, moving to a red state, I had some concerns, and so did some people who love me. Like, why do you want to move to Georgia? Like, be careful out there. Like, those white people, like, those are old descendants of slavery. Their masters owned slaves, and their family owned slaves. You have all these notions. When I got out here, it was quite the opposite. It really was. I'm not saying I haven't been discriminated against since I've been out here. Definitely. I mean, definitely. But by and large, I've been pleasantly surprised by but you know what too? Let me tell you something about white people that I've learned. So y'all know I was staying at the Marriott while I was having some work done on one of my homes. And you meet people in your comings and goings. If you're, coming and going, if you're there for more than a couple of weeks, right? You meet people down at the breakfast station in the mornings, just different times. So like you cross people, they're there also. Lots of people there because they had work done or, whatever. So, one white couple said this to me. Older white couple, in their 80s. I have their number and they have mine. They said to me, you know what, Nandy? We really like you, right? We were down at breakfast one day. They said, we really like you. I said, I like y'all too. Like, what? Okay. They said, you're not like, this is, you're really likable. I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. They said, you're not like a lot of other black people. They didn't say other black people. They said a lot of the others. Of course, my ears are up now. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Well, I mean, you're a likable person. What they were trying to say, now it becomes an awkward conversation because I guess they thought that I would take that as a compliment. But what they were trying to say was, you're smart, you're educated, you have good conversation, and you know, we can tell that you're a certain type of Black person, is what they were saying, right? But that was not a compliment to me. And I had to let them know. Well, you know what? We were talking about the like all the riots and stuff that have been happening across Georgia, that Black people, when we didn't get justice, how we be, rioting and shit. You're not like other, you're just different. I said, because see, to them, to a lot of white people, I'm a safe Black person, right? I'm smart, I'm educated. I'm a hard worker. I own houses as big as theirs. I drive a luxury car just like they do. That kind of shit, right? Just materialistic shit that don't mean anything at the end of the day. But when they feel that you're not threatened or you're a safe Black person, I listen. I let them know. I let all white people know who think that, who I become friends with. Just because I'm in a different tax bracket or area code or zip code or whatever, I'm still very Black, and I'm still very, very connected to the Black community. And when they hurt, I hurt. When they bleed, I bleed. I don't care what I have, may have, don't have, etc. That's my community, and I am very, very, very connected to the struggles of my people, and I always will be. And that really takes a lot of them aback, because they feel like if like you wouldn't be out there rioting, or you're not out there rioting, or you're a certain kind of person, so we feel safe with you. Nah, I'm definitely a Negro, and I told y'all about my white neighbors who came to my house with their fucking MAGA hats on, right? I was having one of my soirees, Christmas party a couple of years ago. They came to my house with some MAGA hats on, y'all. Yep, they were the first at my house to arrive, because their house is not far from mine. And they showed up on my porch with MAGA hats on. And I was like, I opened the door, and they were standing there smiling. They had their gifts in their hand, because we were doing like white elephant gift exchange. Like, a lot of people were coming. They were the first there. And when I saw those hats and they were smiling, they were ready to come in, I was like, where do you think you're going with those hats on? They was like, well, they're red, and it's holiday season. I said, this was the first time they ever heard me curse or really get in their ass. I said, you're not coming in my house with the fucking hats on. I said, and I said it with a straight face. I said, you can go back to your house and put those hats on your porch, or you can leave them on my porch behind one of these planters. But you cannot come in my house with that fucking hat on. Even white people who would come to my house will have a problem with your white ass wearing those hats, because my white friends, they know they will never do no shit like that. But yeah, they just be, sometimes people be doing shit and they don't even be thinking about it, because they walk in with a certain level of privilege, right? Let's see. I moved from New Jersey to Virginia and was skeptical about how I would be treated. And what have you found, Myra? Let's see. After passing, their family now becomes rich and gained more now. Back to what I was saying about those DNA tests. Like, the government of this country owes it to every Black person, African American, to give us access to DNA testing kits. And not that 23andMe shit. I'm talking about the real shit that lets you know not just what region of Africa you're from, but the actual tribe that you're from. All right. That needs to be free to us, because those tests are like $300-$400. Look them up. We need to have free access to that, because we lost our identity and ourselves and our customs and our traditions and our way, really, because it was beat out of us. It was stripped out of us. We, in order to make some kind of amends, in some kind of way, at least they should give us the gift back of identity. That's what I've always thought. Let's see. Hey coach, I'm commenting on YouTube, but you didn't see any comments. Not sure why. Also don't see a super supporter badge. Thanks coach for all you do. Let me write your name down, Christy, and make sure that I follow up with you. Are you Christy Clark on Facebook too? I was commenting on YouTube, but you didn't see any comments. I'll look into that for sure today, later today. Thank you for letting me know. Stephanie said, good morning. Gotta watch the replay to catch up. When you're done, happy New Year's Eve. Thank you. Same to you. I found that African American women here in Virginia were more of an issue. Wow. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Because Virginia was one of the original founding states, Virginia, Louisiana. It's time to start generational wealth 100%. Now I'm curious. I want to see. Ty said, I agreed to a kit. Yes, I would love to know. It should be free to us. We should be able to test and see where we were stripped from, where we were robbed from. You know what I'm saying? Where we were stolen from. Even if some of us were sold, and that is true. There were, like the white man couldn't just go to a foreign, country. And obviously Africa's a continent, but go to the countries within Africa, and just start, hunting people. No, absolutely not. That happened, but by and large, it was sales. We were sold by our own people, which is still stealing. I don't give a fuck if you bought me for a barrel of tobacco, and a lot of the times that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Rice and tobacco, and you know what I'm saying? I still was stolen from my land. Period. I don't care if I was sold, given away, hunted. It's all the same thing. And think of we always think of like the devastation of slavery here in America. But what about the havoc that, ensued back in Africa? You had chiefs and kings and kingdoms who were stolen, and that ruined whole empires. You know what I'm saying? Like the economy and so many other things that suffered as a result of the transatlantic slave trade and us being taken and displaced from our rightful place. We absolutely need a kit and a ticket to go home and be set up if we wanted to too. Yes to free DNA. Yes, ma'am. Virginia is a Commonwealth state. Yep, I live in Virginia. Exactly. Now, Christy, I have to go up and see if I see anything in YouTube for you. I don't so far. Let me see. Hold on. I don't, but that's okay. That's interesting though, Myra. Very, very interesting. I can see that too, because listen, y'all, I love you guys so much. I am so sleepy. We have been at this now for 5 hours because it was 4 hours for the other live, and now it's 5. I'm so sleepy. I have to get some rest so I can do my street trivia today, which I will be streaming live to members only. As most of you already know, as of this Sunday, I will not be doing these lives going forward. Everything will be done on the YouTube platform through paid membership. It's super easy to do. There are 2 levels. There's so much, like we probably talked about Carmen and Tay for 30, 40 minutes today. But the rest of this time, we've just been talking about life and everything, that entails. But we are on a new schedule. If you're just joining, let me show you the schedule right quick, because all these impromptu meetings, they're fun, but here's the new schedule. So Sundays, this Sunday, we'll be on from 8 to 10. That'll be our first show of the season. 8 to 10 is perfect because it's the first. It's the first of the month. So 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. This is all Eastern time. Monday off. Tuesday you won't see me. Wednesday off. Thursday from 10 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. we'll be on. Friday from 1 to 3 a.m. That's my night crew. Y'all know how we do. Saturday from 9 to 11 we will be on. So this is the schedule, and I will definitely be sticking to it. You will send our Zoom. Yes, I will be sending the Zoom out for tonight. A lot of you, I realize a lot of people are shut in or don't want to go out or just don't have plans, right? Or you may be depressed and you don't want to be around a lot of people. You know, that's why we have the support squad for. So I decided to do a live for on Zoom for people who will be in. So we'll be in, we'll be eating, we'll go around and talk about our resolutions and play some games, some trivia and stuff like that. So again, I'm just sending this out to people who have expressed interest in it. Obviously I'm not trying to be bothered with trolls and all that kind of stuff. So, just being very careful about sharing this intimate space that we'll be in later tonight to bring in the new year together. So we'll watch, or someone will know when it turns to 2023, and just kicking it. So it was straight kidnapping. Imagine entire families being kidnapped today and how it would destroy communities. Exactly what I'm saying. So what I will be doing is I've already sent, you guys have already been in my inbox. It's been quite a few of you asking for the link to the Zoom. I'm sending it out to people, not posted it on any page at all, right? So you will get a link directly from me to your messenger to do the live tonight, all right? And we will start that at 10 o'clock. We'll start at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. All right, y'all? So it'll be 10 p.m. through, you guys are all on different time zones. So it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern time, though. So 10 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll go through about 12, right at the 12 o'clock mark, like 12:10 or something, 12:30, 10 p.m. to 12:30. All right, we'll be playing music. You guys will be sharing about yourselves. You've heard so much about me. I'd love to know and learn more about you. So you'll have an opportunity to share that with others tonight for our New Year's Eve virtual party. It's free. So we'll be doing that tonight. All right. I'm just older, I meant to say. See you tonight, sis. Thank you. Yep, I have you guys. Thanks, Lisa. Love you back. Myra, yep. Happy New Year's to everyone. Listen, if you haven't done it yet, again, tonight, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday? My days are so mixed up, it's crazy. Today's Saturday. And what's today? What's today, y'all? Today is Saturday. So tomorrow we'll begin our members only live. If you haven't joined the movement, it's super easy. I'll share my screen really quickly with you guys. Wait, hold on. Let me do this first. Okay, there we go. Share my screen with you. And new tab. Share. All right. So what you do is you go straight up to Google. And then you go to YouTube. Right? You know how to get to YouTube. And then you go to this search bar right here. And you type in @ and then that is our name on YouTube. That's where our page resides. All right. Then you'll see some stuff like, what is this? Don't scroll any further. You see my picture right there? That's us. That's our little spot in the internet. Don't click that. Click this right here. You see our logo? Our logo. Click on this. Click on the name of our group. Just click that. And when you click that, it's going to take you straight to our page. And if you're already signed in to YouTube, you'll see the join and subscribe. You won't see sign in up here in the upper right, but you will see join. It's kind of like muted out. I don't know why the hell it's not in a big bold color and big bold size, but it's not. So make sure when you click join, it'll take you to, if you're signed in, it'll take you to the options that the two plans. So there's supporter with $14.99, and that covers all the lives that we do, first look, blah, blah, blah. And then there's super supporter, which includes all the stuff from supporter, but also includes the clinic corner, which is big. And if you missed it, we're going to have clinic corner on Saturday, the 14th of January. I already have an OBGYN / primary care doctor who will be coming in and talking to us about all manner of things. All right. So that'll be our first clinic corner. And that's included in the super supporter, as well as the birthday club, right? No, birthday club is included in all of them. The virtual tours across Georgia, right? That's included in the super supporter, and some other stuff, other perks, like a deeper discount on our mugs and cups, which we will be doing those as we talked about. So 2 tiers to choose from, 2 different, kind of different benefit levels, and, exclusive chats and all that kind of stuff. I will not be shooting publicly, just live, just, for the masses, for the world to see anymore going forward, right? I try to make it super affordable. At first, I had an annual subscription offering, and people couldn't pay $110 or $120 a year. And I understand that, especially the seniors. A lot of people were like, we love you and we want to keep following you, but we can't do that. 110. So I gave all the money back to everyone who paid 110. They were all in the comments earlier. You can go look at the video. And so I made it $14.99 and $19.99. And I hope to see you all in that space, in our new space, and enjoying our new program and the things that we're going to be doing. It's going to be super fun, enlightening, exciting, all of that. So we're not just going to be looking at the screen, someone thank you for the stars. We've never done that. So lots of fun things on the horizon for you all. Oh, trivia night is also included in the super supporter too. So listen, I'm super sleepy in case you can't tell. I've been up for probably 18 hours straight. I'm about to go to sleep and then hit the streets to do my live trivia with people from all across America, all across the world. Just kind of picking their brain in a fun, lighthearted way. Different people. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Like we do on trivia night. And what are your New Year's resolutions? So that should be interesting to see what people kind of get back to us. All right, guys, listen. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for rocking with me and standing with me. And, it really means a lot. If you haven't already liked this live, please make sure that you like it, that you hit the like, the heart button, the smiley face, etc. That would be super, super helpful. Appreciate every one of you guys. If I don't see you tonight for the virtual party, Happy New Year. And I will try to get back on at least one more time tonight before we switch over for just the members on YouTube on Sunday. All right. I will catch you all later, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace. Will there be someone to talk about the skin? Yes, but not this clinic corner. Can you send Zoom to my email, please? Meyer, you already asked me that. I think I sent it to you. Oh, you want me to send it to your email? Okay. Well, send me a message with your email address and I'll send it to you, Myra. No problem. Happy New Year to you all if I don't talk to you again, and I will see you in these Facebook streets. Bye. I'm so sleepy.